Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I wanted to go over what an emotionally safe and attentive man looks like. And I think it's important to recognize that individuals who come from traumatic backgrounds, individuals who may struggle with complex PTSD, who come from neglect, who come from broken homes where maybe they didn't even see marriage being involved, and maybe they come from abusive homes. And so you guys might not know what an emotionally safe person looks like. And so today we're going to talk about the male version of that. And then I'll also make a video about the female version so that you can have both sides. But before we get into it, I want you guys to know this is regardless of attachment style. I'm going to mention the specifics about certain attachment styles because it can be a little bit different, but we're going to get into that. But this also includes dismissive avoidance, who have made some progress in healing, or they're trying to heal, or they're showing up. And if you come from a traumatic background, obviously you want to know what these people look like. And I don't want you guys to jump into a relationship where you could end up being more traumatized than you guys already are. So that's what this video is for. So the very first one to know that somebody is emotionally safe and attentive, particularly for males, is they don't play games on purpose. If he is secure, he likely won't leave any room for you to feel confused. If he is avoidant or anxious, you can ask to clarify. And if they are a genuine person, if he's genuine, he will likely tell you he's not aware that he was doing something, or he has no malicious intention, which is a good sign. Now, some anxious individuals do play games, and what tends to happen is they're doing that because they're feeling insecure. That doesn't mean they're trying to manipulate you because of a malicious reason. So if you suspect your partner is anxious, if he's an anxious male, what you can do is you can ask him if there's something that he needs or something that's bothering him, and therefore you can give him that, and then he won't be playing games. However, if nothing is changing and they continue to play games and try and manipulate you, this is a person that is probably not safe for you. If you come from a traumatic background, you don't need all of that extra legwork. You deserve to be loved and treated properly. And so this is why this one is very important, because this can be very manipulative otherwise, okay? The next one is he is honest with you, even when it hurts. If he's an avoidant, he may say it very, very bluntly, but you can ask him to adjust his tone. Now, if he's fearful avoidant, not dismissive avoidant, what he may do is he may say what you want to hear because he's afraid to hurt your feelings. And anxious individuals might do this as well. But if he's trying to, you can ask him, are you sure that's what you mean? I promise I won't be upset. At that point, if he's honest with you, that's a good sign. If he's never honest with you and he's just hiding his true intention, that's probably not a situation you want to be in, because that means you have to always be guessing what's going on. And regardless of attachment style, nobody should make you feel like that. No matter what their attachment style is, it's not an excuse to mistreat you. If they're showing healing, that's fine. We're just talking about playing games. Some anxious men, they play games, but if they're trying to get better, and if you call them out, they apologize and are trying to fix it, that's something that's a good sign, because they are attentive, they're emotionally safe, they're listening to you. But if they're not listening, there's no point. And that's the same with honesty, okay? The next one is they try to understand how you feel, even if he doesn't understand. Even if he doesn't understand exactly how you feel, he may try to clarify, he may try and ask you, he may try and show up in his own version, but he's still there for you. This is very, very important, because no matter what a person comes from, whatever their background is, understanding and acknowledging that another person may have some merit from their own perspective is a sign that this person is emotionally safe for you. The next one is they are consistent in any form, even if it's very, very slowly, right? Dismissive avoidant males, they are very slow to commit, but it's still consistent. We don't want that hot or cold, or we don't want the grand gestures. Some fearful avoidance can be hot and cold in the beginning of the relationship, but you want to see it start stabilizing. Grand gestures, some anxious, preoccupied males do this, but often it's only if they're feeling insecure. But if this person always uses grand gestures to apologize or try and make you feel better instead of actual genuine feelings, this is where it's an issue. You want to see consistency, even if it's consistent growth. It doesn't mean that they have to be perfect. They can start in a spot maybe you're not totally satisfied with. But if you're seeing them consistently, try to improve over the course of months, over the course of years. This is a very, very good sign. This is one of the best signs for anybody who's emotionally safe and attentive, especially for a male, okay? The next one is non-judgmental. No matter what your attachment style, where you come from, what you've been doing, being non-judgmental is very important, because it means that they will not judge you. And if somebody is judging you and you clarify and say, I'm feeling like, you're judging me, and they try to adjust themselves, good. This is an emotionally safe and attentive person. They're trying to adjust. They probably didn't recognize this was a trait that they had. However, if they deny it, they're combative and they're always trying to get the leg up or trying to deny how you're feeling. This is not healthy. This is not a situation that you should be in, okay? The next one is that you feel very safe instead of always leaning towards, I want to say excitement, but it's not necessarily excitement. Some people call it excitement. Some patients word it as excitement, but as we clarify it, it's actually anxiety. So what do I mean? You want a person where he provides a constant foundation. He does not pull away too much, but he also doesn't he doesn't show up too intense either. He has his own identity, but he still has you. Now, anxious males might be a little bit more leaning into you, and then avoidant males will lean a little bit out of the relationship. But still, as long as they're not trying to manipulate you, or they're not trying to back and forth or only show up when it's convenient, or whatever it is, they're not trying to impress you. They're trying to slowly get to know you or understand this relationship is safe. Basically, they're not overly passionate, but they're still there for you. This is more important than someone who's extremely passionate and extremely loving, and they're not actually romantically loving you, or they're not safe for you. A lot of times what may happen, I've seen this, where somebody might be in a relationship with somebody who's married or in a relationship, and that person is very exciting because they show up, they're very passionate, but they're not there for you. They're with a different person. They put some commitment to another person and some commitment towards you. It's split. And that can be very passionate, but it's not safe at all. So regardless of their attachment style, they should be safe. You should feel safe with them rather than always excited, wondering when you're going to see them. And when you see them, it's like a passionate release of emotion, right? It shouldn't feel like that. You should feel like they're very consistent with you, and you should see that consistency increase, okay? The next one is they don't use violence or raise their voice to keep you quiet. This is very important. People can get upset and angry every now and again, but raising their voice to scare you, using violence is obviously not acceptable from my perspective. This is not a safe person. And if this is happening, obviously tell a loved one, tell somebody close to you, and seek protection, because this is a very dangerous situation, okay? The last one is progression. That regardless of his attachment style, he should be making progress to connect with you as the relationship progresses. Now, if he's an anxious male, you want to see him make progress with building his self-esteem while still trying to meet your needs, right? As well as his own needs, of course. But you want to see that there's progression towards becoming a more healthier man for the relationship and for you two as a couple. Very, very important. No matter what, this can apply to both male and female, but this one's a little bit more specifically leaning towards males, and I'll make the female version and post that either before this one or after this one. I'm not sure, but I hope this video was helpful to somebody. I want you guys to be in healthy relationships, and I want you guys to be happy. That was the point of this video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.